Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Clarice Lim. Let's continue on how to draw model part 2. Today we're going to address questions that has before and after elements, okay? So it's more recommended for the P3s and 4s. If you're P5 watching this, no problem. It will help to build your foundation. However, as time moves on, you will need to learn more complicated stuff like the T tables and then the parts and units, okay? So let's look at a sample question. Before we begin, you need to understand two hints. Always draw the after first. Okay, why the after? Because if you draw the after first, you can then fill in the before all in one diagram. Okay, later I will show you. Use ovals to represent the known. What do I mean by known? Known means numbers that's given to you. So for example, in this question, there were 3 times as many boys as girls in a hall. So straight away in your mind, you think, okay, 3 boxes for the boys, 1 box for the girls, right? But after 54 boys and 4 girls went out of the hall, there was an equal number. Okay, so straight away from this question, you know, oh, there is a before and an after. So what must you do first? Draw the after first. And there is the known. What are the known? They tell you 54 boys and 4 girls went out. Okay, so they will represent circle, okay, the ovals that I've told you, ovals to represent the known. So how will the model look like? So in order to draw the model, there's 2 items, boys and girls, okay, and you notice that I only draw 2 boxes because the after situation is that both are the same. There are equal number of boys and girls. So you draw this first, you draw the after first, then you read backwards, okay, and fill in the before. So sentence by sentence, what is the before? Before the equal, there is 54 boys and 4 girls who went out of the hall. Okay, therefore I have 54 over here. And because they are known numbers, I use oval to represent them. And 4 will be another oval or circle, up to you, whatever you call that. Okay, and the thing is, now I realize I read backwards one more sentence. There were 3 times as many boys as girls. Using this, how do I draw the 3 times? Very simple. So 3 times as many boys as girls, which means this is 1 unit, correct? If this is 1 unit, whatever is left from here to here will therefore be 2 units. Do you see that? If this is 1 unit, this whole thing, this girls is 1 unit, boys has 3 times as much, which means this part has to be 2 units. That's how you get 1, 2, 3 times as much as girls in the hall right from the start. So this is how you draw the model. Always draw the after first, use ovals to represent the known, and then put in the before. So in this case, how do you solve? So once you see that, okay, 1 unit is actually this 4, this whole thing from here to here, this 54 is made up of 2 units plus 4. Do you notice that? I say again, this oval is actually made up of 4, because how do I know this is 4? Because this size is 4. It tells me this size, same size, has to be 4 as well. And if this is 4 and this whole thing is 54, cutting from here is 2 units. Therefore, in order to find 2 units, all I need to do is use 54 minus away this 4 in order to get 50. So therefore, 2 units is 50. And you find next 1 unit is always, after you find 2 units equal to something, 3 units equal to something, 4 units equal to something, always next step 1 unit. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. How many children were there at first? Okay, so there are how many units altogether? 1, 2, 3 plus the girls, 1. Okay, 3 plus 1, 4 units altogether. Therefore, there's 100 students in the hall at first. Okay, let's try another similar question. Now you try it on your own. You may pause the video at this moment. Okay, so there were 4 times as many women as men in the mall. So you have 2 items. And they have an equal number in the end after some of them left. So you have to draw the same first, because always draw the after. Okay, so once you get the after, you read backwards. So now we fill in the blanks. The 72 men, let's fill them in. Okay, 360 women and 72 men. And there were at first 4 times as many men as women, which means this whole thing is now 3 times. And this man is 1 time. Okay, so if this is 1 unit, the rest of this from here to here will therefore be 3 units. You see that? So if this is 3 units, how do I get the answer? It will be 360 minus the 72, which is 288. Therefore, Find the 1 unit, 288 divided by 3, you get 96. And how many people were in the mall at first? So at first will be altogether 4 units plus 1, 5 altogether. So 5 units, 96 times 5 equals 480. Did you get it correct? Okay, let's try another kind of question. Simon and Alvin had the same number of toy figures at first. Okay, so just now was in the end you get the same. This one is at first you get the same. However, doesn't matter. Always draw the after. Simon gave Alvin 16 toy figures. After that, Alvin had 5 times. So what do you draw first? You draw Alvin 5 times, Simon 1 time. Okay, so this is what you should draw first. 5 for Alvin, 1 for Simon. Always draw the after. Is that easy to remember? So now you put back the details. So read back the sentence. After this sentence, you read this sentence. Simon gave Alvin 16 toy figures, which means Simon is supposed to have 16 and Alvin is not supposed to have 16. Right? So this 16 came from Simon over here, therefore it's a different color. And you notice that, okay, so they are supposed to have the same. You notice that? So if Alvin doesn't have this 16 and Simon has the 16, they are supposed to have the same. So there should be a line over here that tells you that they are the same. Therefore, what tells you is that this whole 4 unit, if this part is 16 and this part is 16, this poking out 4 units is actually 16 plus 16. Therefore, you will be able to work it out. 4 units equals to 16 plus 16 equals to 32. And the moment you get this, voila, you know what's the next step. 1 unit. So 1 unit will be 32 divided by 4 equals to 8. Okay, so 5 units, therefore, how many toy figures did Alvin have at first? So at first, Alvin has 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units, so you find 8 times 5 equals to 40. Minus away the 16 he's not supposed to have. Answer 24. Okay, so remember, always draw the after and the known, give them a oval shape. Okay, let's try another question on your own, so see if you can get it right. You may pause the video at this moment. And so, Alexis and Beatrice, 2 characters. Let's draw for 2 of them. Beatrice had 7 times, so you get 7 units for Beatrice, 1 unit for Alexis. Okay, so now the next thing that you need to do is figure out where the 42 is, right? Because they had the same number, so you draw Beatrice 42, and then the other half will be 42 for Beatrice. So this 42 is supposed to be here, and they are supposed to have the same. So you see an imaginary line over here where my mouse is, okay? So therefore, this entire 6 units is made up of 42 plus 42. Because if this width is 42, this width has to be 42. And so 6 units add together becomes 42 plus 42. Because they are supposed to be the same. Okay, so 6 units equals to 42 plus 42 equals to 84. Voila, you get it. You know what's going to be the next step. Find 1 unit. Okay, so 1 unit equals to 84 divided by 6 equals 14. Therefore, you need to find how much did Beatrice have at first. Beatrice had 7 times. Find 7 times of 14 to get the 7 units altogether. Minus away the 42 she's not supposed to have. You get the answer 56. Okay. In the next video, we'll show you how to do draw models using the stacking method. Okay, stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out our new videos.